Alright, so this is a quick guide on how you move around and use the Fantom XR, just like some tips at least. Tip number one, if you want to have your audio inputs on the backside come through, you press this and then it says mix in on. So now the audio is coming through. If you want to move around, you use this. This is like swap patch, and if you want to do one, you do one click, and if you want to do 10, you push it in and do one click. So every couple, you do like 10 at a time when you press it in, and one at a time. Yeah, it sort of says on it, but yeah, it's a little bit hard to grasp, I guess. Yeah, this is increase, decrease. You see this, you can move around. If you wanna edit the thing, you press shift, and if you press shift, it brings up this. So here you write, you press these, so shift brings up that, and you can save or edit. So if you press right, it saves, and you can navigate the little menu on where you want to save it. And if you press edit, you come into a little bit of this is actually in the performance play mode right now. So there's performance play mode, and then there's patch play mode. You swap with this button, the mode button, and you swap banks with the group button, or groups, I guess. So this is my favorites. These are XV voices, and you can swap banks with this button right here, and you can move between them. But another cool thing you can do shift list. You get more of a view of everything and see what's up. There's 41 different ones. I have two additional ones, I think, or maybe one, I'm not sure. But yeah, expansion stuff, but that's how you do it. So you press shift. Let's exit. This is the patch play. You press shift and then list. Boom. And I think you can do this in this mode too. So shift, then list. Yeah, so you get a list of stuff. These are not mine. These are from the previous owner. But I keep them for fun's sake, because there's a lot of memory on this thing. Just without memory card, there's 500, I think. If you have RAM, at least there's you have some memory, maybe 500 megabytes, or I don't know. You have a little bit of memory you can use to sample on the unit itself, and you can buy a PCMA or CF card of some sort and put it in here. But I have it in this right now, and I got some more on the way that I ordered. But back to this. If you want to sample, you press sampling, you get into the sample mode, and when you sample something, if you want to navigate back, you press shift and then sample. But there's no sample right now, but you see you can sample. If you want to play the sample, you press the output knob, this one, and it previews the sound. You can also press it when you're in patch play and sort of just plays the sound. I can't do it right now because I don't have the audio plugged, but yeah, here's the arpeggio. It has to be in master for the arpeggio to work in MIDI. How to do that is you press menu, system, then you can move this way when you're in a sub menu. So with this, you move this way. Here's the MIDI stuff, and here's some other info. Actually right here is the channel for the patch play, and in the other mode you swap the channels when you're in. So this is for the patch play. This is the MIDI. It's on channel 1 right now, and for this. But if you want to do the performance play, you got to swap the channels individually. And actually in the software, let's see if it launches properly right here. The Fantom X editor. I did a thing to get it to work. It usually doesn't work on Windows 10, but there's a guide on the internet how to do it. So you can probably follow that, or I might make a video on how, if there's a lot of people that want to see it. But here's the Fantom X editor, and it's not connected right now. This is the cable, but when it is, you can like edit all the stuff in here. These are all the banks, and like it's like laid up like this. These are parts, part 1, part 2, like channel strips or whatever, and there's like a whole bunch right down in the performance play. But if you go to patch play, it's just one. Wait, yeah, in patch play there's not like, you can't go down and select more, there's just one. But yeah, also when you sample stuff, it's sort of weird where it ends up, but it ends up in one of the like user, or not like there, but like user sample or something like that. It ends up in one of these. Not completely sure what it's named or whatever, but yeah, sometimes it shows you, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes you just have to go look for it. You have to like press create patch when you sample, and it'll go somewhere. Here's the effects, MFX, chorus, reverb, all that stuff. If you want multiple effects at once, you go into the performance play, and there'll be multiple effects. You can route the MIDI inputs through the effects. So what you do to do that is you press shift, then you press the input knob. It goes into this. There's mix in. Mix in is off right now. Wait, fuck, I pressed enter by accident. You go over to input, and then you press enter. It brings you here. This is the equalizer, so this is the input effect. You can put effect on the input, but what's really fucking cool is that you can do this. You can route it into the MFX. So output assign MFX, so the input goes into the effects. You can see here's chorus, here's reverb, and here's the MFX. That's really cool because it's 3 really great Roland effects at once if you do it in performance play, right? You can have this, boom, that's distortion, right? And wait, fuck. Yeah, you press this to go that way, or not press it, but like do this. Usually it's the arrow keys, but for some reason this doesn't do that. You can have whatever you want here. There's like a ton, and they're all great. All these effects are great. All the effects work great. Like, yeah. Distortion, flanger, all that stuff. Yeah. So 3 MFX, chorus, and reverb, and you can master the stuff. You go in here, boom, there's a whole little bit of like a equalizer for the output, and that's cool. That's at least cool in my book, and it saves with performance thingy, so you can just boom, fill it up, and boom, yeah. So that's how you navigate the Fantom XR. At least some of it. I don't know, I might have skipped out on half of it, but that's some of the navigation. Here's like the menu. More menus down this way. And the sampling thing is a little bit, when you go into like sampling mode, it's a little bit confusing because there's like its own menu. The sampling stuff has its own menu, just like the other thing. There's a lot of like sampling stuff and sub menus. You get used to it when you do it a few times. There's also a great manual for it. If you read the manual, it's fucking, you should read the manual when you use this thing. But there's a quick navigation guide if you just bought it. Thanks for watching. God damn.